turning back time here. Welcome to the All In Podcast. I'm Kahlil Calloway here with the legendary Jordan White. I mean, you know what I was telling people the other day? I was like, when me and you were first talking about our careers, like obviously you wanted to be a football player.
Yeah.
For me, I always wanted to be like, at first I wanted to be an agent or like an interviewer. And I was like, how cool would it be if I was like your agent?
Yeah.
But like now we kind of go full circle. Now I'm interviewing you.
Yeah.
So like, time is crazy. I wish Matt Camacho was here, bro. The big three would have been crazy.
That would have been crazy. Old days.
The old days. How we doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. You're playing football back at Hampton now, right?
Yes, sir.
Have you started spring ball yet?
Spring ball is over. We start summer workouts June 10th.
So you got a chance to meet the staff and all that?
Yeah.
How was that experience like?
They're pretty cool. So my last year was my first year there. So pretty cool staff, Definitely different from JMU, but I definitely liked it. Like, they're definitely very personable. So
now, going to JMU, you just graduated. Now coming to Hampton, any differences so far that you've seen with Hampton compared to JMU?
Definitely it's definitely different. Going from a PWI to a HBCU. Really, more at a PWI, it's more centered around football. It's more of a football school. At Hampton, it's more of like black excellence, more about like the Greek organization and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's definitely cool to get both sides of it in my college career. So,
because now you're getting your master's, right? So you're gonna be there for a good year, right? With Hampton, right? HBCU. You talk about Greek life. Are you looking to get involved in that in some kind of way?
Nah, not really. No. I always support it though, but this is not my thing. My mom's an AKA, but it's all cool. Like, I definitely support it, respect it.
So, I'm gonna turn back the clock here. I've known you since I was probably 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And I knew football was always your passion. When did you know that football was your thing?
I'll probably say around like first, second grade, probably when we met. I always grew up watching my older brother. He was always playing. I can remember, he was always playing football. So I would always be like the ball boy or just on the sideline, dressed up in my little outfit and everything. So, and everybody used to always be like, he's gonna be good one day. He's already dressed up out here and everything. So, I don't know, just always being around the sport. I always knew that I had something for it.
So you talk about being around your brother. What's the age gap there?
6 years.
6 years. So he's in a little bit of middle school, right?
Yeah.
And you're kind of in the elementary stage. What position did your brother play?
He played tight end.
Tight end. Okay. Okay. I gotta ask. Did he play basketball?
Did I or did he?
No, did he?
Yeah, he did for a little bit.
I'm saying, if you're gonna be a tight end, you gotta play basketball.
Yeah.
I was having this conversation. If you're going to be a tight end, and this is life lesson to any tight end, if you are a tight end, you need to play basketball.
Definitely.
Or somebody in your family needs to play basketball, because then you're not gonna be successful at all.
Definitely.
And I hate to hate on people like that, but it's just a fact. But back to your brother, Marcus. He goes ahead and goes to high school, plays a little bit, and you're kind of transitioning a little to 5th grade. That would be right.
Yeah.
Tell me, were you always going to his games? Were you always just watching the way he's play?
Every single game, every single game. And even when he was in high school, I was still the ball boy, the water boy on the sideline. I just always wanted to be around football. I used to beg my parents, can I go down the field? Can we get there early? I want to be there. I used to be in a locker room with them before the games,
That's
everything.
fire.
I always was around it.
So you go ahead and you're always on the sideline. Who was the coach at that time? If you remember.
Coach Jacobs.
Coach Jacobs.
Yeah.
But Coach Jacobs, did he coach you?
Nah, he didn't coach me.
But Coach Sack.
Coach Matt Sackis, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Coach Matt Sackis, right? I've had a conversation with Elijah already about him. He didn't really get into Matt Sackis' era. What was it like being coached by Matt Sackis?
Coach Matt Sackis.
Was this all 4 years?
Yeah. I had him for my whole time in West Orange. It was definitely a great coach. Definitely had a lot of connections with colleges and stuff like that. So he definitely helped me get my name out there. Definitely. But he was definitely like I like the way he ran things. Me and him always had a good relationship. He always kind of like looked at me as like one of his other sons. So like we definitely had a good relationship.
Even since you were a kid, you were again, like I'll said it to you before, like NFL was something I always looked at. It's like that's a possibility. And I know how hard it is to get into the NFL now, but I was like, that is a possibility for you. When did you start playing? Like when did you start playing football? Because you're around the game first, second grade.
Yeah.
When did you really start playing and getting to know the game more?
I started playing in second grade. I started playing flag football. I don't know if you remember Michael Monfiletto. Yeah, his dad was
that's the guy.
His dad was our second grade coach, our flag football team. It was me and Stefan, Ali Ranroop. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I see him all the time.
He was my running back, and I played quarterback. So, yeah, I remember them days.
Because you played, did you play running back too at one point?
Yeah, I played running back in Little League. I kind of did everything in Little League.
Yeah.
I just moved around and stuff. But
I remember I went to one of your games. I think you were playing for Montclair.
Yeah, I played for Montclair my last 2 years of Little League.
So, tell me when did you know that you really like had a chance, right? Like, because I feel like when athletes think like, oh, NFL like is the number one thing, right? But like, when did you know that like, oh, like shoot, this is an actual possibility?
I would say probably when I went to Montclair. When I was in West Orange, it was like I knew I was good, but like I knew I was good in West Orange.
Right.
So like me going to Montclair was me trying to see like if I can elevate my game, because like in West Orange that was like the PAL league.
Right.
Montclair was the Pop Warner league. Like you get to go to the Pop Warner Super Bowl, all that. So like I wanted to see like, okay, a lot of good kids are playing for Montclair. So I felt like if I go there and I show out, then like, okay, maybe I can take this serious. So definitely when I got to Montclair, because my 7th grade year, that team was stacked. We had a lot of guys on that team. A lot of them are playing college football now. And then,
if you don't mind, who are some of those guys that you were playing with at that time?
Josh Crawford. He went to
wow,
yeah,
Josh Crawford. Okay.
Yeah, Kyle Manungai. He like the leading rusher in the Big Ten. So it was a lot of guys on that team. But yeah, when I got to Montclair, I would say that because my 7th grade year, I was like playing quarterback, you know, filling things out, and then 8th grade year, that's kind of where I really took over. And I got recruited to go play for the FBU team, the state team.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then being able to play on that, I played with one of my boys, Ronnie Hickman, played for the Browns.
Wow.
So like so me and him like we were on that team together and stuff. So
that is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Just hearing the names that you're talking about, Kyle Manungai for sure was a big one for me. Play at Montclair. What age range was it, or what grade was this?
That was 7th and 8th grade.
7th and 8th grade. 8th grade. We'll go back a little bit before, but for now, 8th grade, then into 9th. Mm-hmm. You don't go to West Orange, you go to DePaul.
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about that decision.
That decision really came from me playing on that FBU team. Because I felt like growing up, like I was going to go to West Orange High School. I was going to play as a freshman. I was going to be a freshman star. I was going to play all my 4 years there and go to college. But going to play on that FBU team and being around other guys from different towns, like, and seeing what they were like, their dreams and aspirations was, like, because I really didn't know about private school football like that. Like I said, growing up West Orange, we were going to West Orange High School. Like, so seeing like what these guys were talking about, like, oh yeah, I'm about to go to Don Bosco next week to visit. I'm going to Bergen Catholic. I'm like, what? Like, what's all this? Like, so, and then that's when like the whole Jabril Peppers era and the Minka Fitzpatrick's, like, so seeing that and seeing these guys like playing and like they're nationally ranked like in the country, like, so it's like, I'm like, man, I want to be a part of that. Like, I don't know, like, it was a game on ESPN. I forgot who Paramus Catholic was playing. It might have been Don Bosco. And it was a Friday night game. They had these gray jerseys on, Paramus Catholic. And that was like Jabril Pepper's team. And I remember like, yeah, I want to go there. Like, I want to play like at a Catholic school, like, or a private school. Like, that's good football.
It's great football.
Yeah.
So you go to DePaul. Tell me a little bit about your time there, because I know it was about a year and a half, right? Would you say?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your time there, and Just tell me what happened, I guess.
Yeah, basically, DePaul was pretty good. Like that really showed me that I could play at the next level. Honestly, cause like my freshman year, like first couple practices there, the coaches could see that we had that me, my boy Rocket, I was telling you about Ronnie Hickman, and then Taquan, quarterback.
Madison,
Yeah.
Didn't he just?
Yeah, he just
somewhere?
committed to Kansas State.
Kansas State.
Yeah. So they saw the three of us. They're like, okay, like you guys pretty good. Like y'all can come up practice varsity for a little bit in the summertime. So like that was just cool, just being able to be around like those type of guys. Because at the time, DePaul had the number one running back in the nation, Kareem Walker. So seeing him there, and then we had another receiver, Hassis Dubois. He was crazy. He ended up going to UVA. Michael Dumford, he's in the league right now playing D tackle. Like, so it was just, those are just guys that are just made it up to professional level.
Right.
There was a whole bunch of guys that went D1 that year, and that was younger that were getting scholarships and stuff. So like just being around that, like just seeing that, it was just like, man, okay, like I can compete with these guys. Like ain't no telling what I'm about to do in the next 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Like, so my freshman year was pretty good. Like I played freshman, I played JV. Got called up to varsity for the playoffs, got a couple carries in the playoff game. So like, and then being able to go and win a state championship that year was pretty cool. So, and then my sophomore year was pretty cool. Was playing varsity and everything like that. And then my parents and I decided that it was just better for me to come back to West Orange and play for my hometown team.
Now talk to me a little bit about that decision. Right, because
Yeah.
you see DePaul, right?
Mm-hmm.
No offense to West Orange, but like DePaul's got all these big names,
Yeah.
big running backs, professionals. How'd you feel about that decision?
Honestly, it wasn't mine. It was my dad's. I would say like I was messing up in the classroom. Like I just wasn't getting the job done. Like, and my parents are big on education. Like, so I was messed up my freshman year. I didn't have good grades. My dad gave me a warning. He was like, yo, if you don't get these up, I'm pulling you out of there. Like,
I can see that.
because you got to pay to go to private school. That wasn't free. Like, you know, they do their little whatever to try to get you financial aid and stuff, but, you know, you still got to pay for that. So my parents coming out of pocket to pay for high school, and I wasn't getting good grades. My dad was not going for that. So them progress reports in that first semester or first market period came out, he wasn't playing. Took me right out.
My dad would have done the same thing.
Yeah. Took me right out without like hesitation either. He didn't care.
Looking back on that, obviously you wish you got your grades up and were there.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a lot of regret in that situation?
Definitely a lot of regret. Because it's like I was seeing on a regular basis the type of schools that were coming in to DePaul every day.
Right.
Like I said, because we had all those guys in that recruiting class that were seniors. And it's like Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State, like dudes that's never stepped foot through West Orange High School. Like, you know, so it's like I'm seeing these dudes, they're watching us work out and stuff, like, and I'm working out in front of like big time schools, and I'm 15 years old. So it was just like crazy to me. So yeah, it was definitely like some regret, because it's like, you know, sometimes I look back like, okay, what if I did stay there? Where could I be now? But it's like everything happens for a reason. Yeah. So, you know, I just thank God that I was able to make it this far where I came from.
So you talk about God. I'm obviously, you know, got the cross on me.
Mm-hmm.
I know you went to church a lot.
Yeah.
I know that for sure, because whenever we would try to hang out, be like,
at church.
yeah, I'm still at church. It's 4 o'clock. It's like, yeah, I'm still at church.
Still was at church.
Tell me about how much you believe in God and how much He's kind of done for you, and tell me about more of that, like, religion side.
Yeah. Without God, I wouldn't be here right now. Like, there's so many things that He done cleared out my way in life and, like, just provided for me and my family. So it's like every day I wake up and thank Him, because it's like I said, I wouldn't be here without Him. Like Kahlil just said, right, I was in church on Sundays, man. I'm there from 8 a.m. I'm not getting out till like 2, 3 o'clock. Like my parents got to see her close the church up, count the money. Like, so it was just a lot, though. I'm going to churches on Wednesday nights, going to Bible study on Thursdays, choir practice. Like, yeah, I was one of those kids. But you know, I don't regret it. Like, I actually I like that I had to grow up and understand that feeling of being able to go to church and understand that I am a child of God. So
absolutely,
yeah,
a child of God, for sure. So you come back to West Orange, get back with Sakis. I remember I see you and I'm like, it's like, what the fuck?
Everybody was shocked.
I was like, what is he doing here? I was like,
everybody was shocked.
I was like, what's good, man? He's like, long time no see. And then we have a little bit of a conversation of what happened. Coming back to football, how did that transition go? Because I guess this is midway through the season, right?
Yeah.
So this is you pretty much cut off midway through your season. Come back to West Orange. And you don't play. You don't get to play.
I don't get to play.
So tell me, this is probably the first time in your life where no football.
No football
at that point. How does that feel?
It was weird. Like, it was definitely weird. I'm coming back, and it's like I had to sit out for a certain amount of days because of the transfer rule here in New Jersey. So, like, if I would have came back maybe like a week sooner, I'd have got able to play in that playoff game.
Wow.
That sophomore year. They played Ridgewood. And honestly, that team, that sophomore year at West Orange, they could have made it far. Like, that was a really good team. With Michael Suji and CJ Onyechi, like, that was a pretty good team. So I just felt like weird. Like, I was just going to random people's games on Saturday. Like, it was like a Montclair game versus PCT. I just went, like, it was just different. Like,
because you couldn't not be around.
I couldn't not be around it. Yeah. So I was just going to different games, sitting out there in the cold, like, just watching.
Because obviously you could watch a game, but like being on the field is something different.
Way different.
Was that a moment where you kind of knew you were all in with football?
Yeah, definitely. I knew that, like, my mistakes there, it was like, okay, like, I got to shake back right. Like, I can't let, like, my grades be another factor, you know, for me to not be able to play football.
I'm glad you said that, because I feel like what your parents did ended up helping you in the long run.
Yeah.
Because let's say, right, you go to DePaul and your grades aren't the way they're supposed to, and colleges see that, you're not going to be able to go to college for free. You're not going to be able to have those opportunities to get scholarships. They're going to be like, oh, well, you're flunking out. Well,
they're
sayonara.
walking right back out that door.
Exactly. So I think what you did ended up really helping you in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
So junior year, you go to play West Orange. How did it feel to be back on the field, and how was that year for you in general?
Junior year, I'd say was probably my best year. So that year, I had to sit out the first game because I had 3 or 2 days left on my transfer thing.
Wow.
And like I said, if I'd have transferred a week earlier, then I'd have been able to play. But yeah, so I couldn't play that first game versus Union City. That was a tough loss. We lost by like 2 points on the final seconds of the game. So then come back. My first game, we played Irvington at home. Now, that Irvington team was stacked. They had some guys on that team, man. And that game, it was like I felt like everybody was there. Like, the stands were packed. Like, I had so much family there, so many friends. Like, a lot of my DePaul friends came because they played, I think they played Saturday, or it was like a bye week for them. But I just knew it was a whole bunch of people there. And I just showed up and showed out. Like, I can't remember, like, my stat line, but it was just crazy. I think I had, like, 14 tackles, an interception, like, 2 PBUs. Like, I just came to ball. Like, I had football taken away from me, so, like, that was my first. I was itching to get back out there.
Right, making plays.
Yeah,
playmaker.
Making plays, man.
I've watched you on the field twice.
Mm-hmm.
One was with the Montclair,
Mm-hmm.
and one was in high school. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I forgot what team you were playing exactly, but, like, I remember a punt return was happening, or kick return. You were a half spin away from taking that to the house, and then you come off the field because I think you hurt your leg.
It was cramping.
And then you get back out there, and then you made like a big tackle, and I was sitting there like, bro, was he not just hurt? Like, I was like, what is going on?
That was that Irvington game.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Tell me a little bit about injuries and like how they've kind of played a part in your football career.
So my brother always want to say, like, I'm made out of tissue paper, but I mean, injuries happen, you know, it's football. So I done had a few injuries. I done sprained my MCL in 8th grade in gym class, being a dummy, playing tackle football out there at Liberty, bro. I forgot who did it to me too. I think it was Colin. It might have been Colin.
Colin?
Yeah.
Colin Morgan?
Yeah.
Shout out to Colin Moore. Wow.
And then
and he was always going hard for
always
no
going
reason.
Hard.
No reason. He don't even play football for real.
Like, and then my freshman year at DePaul, I tore my meniscus at the end of like my freshman year. So I rushed that back. I came back after like 4 weeks, was able to play right when the season started.
Insane.
Yeah. Dislocated my shoulder in high school my junior year. Kept playing through that. Senior year I was fine. And then freshman year to college, I tore my meniscus like probably around February during winter workouts. That was a rough one. Because I was on crutches for like 8 weeks. Like, and that was like right after, like it was like right before COVID happened. So like I got my surgery probably like in March, right before spring break. And I was on crutches for like 8 weeks. Couldn't do nothing. World was shut down. That was just a rough time.
You couldn't even like really rehab.
Couldn't really rehab.
Do you think that played a part in your time at JMU?
Nah, I wouldn't say so because once I got back to JMU that summer, I was fully cleared. So like, they weren't really worried too much about it. Like they had their little questions and stuff, but like, that didn't really play a factor into it.
Now we'll get to JMU a little bit later. I want to go back a little bit to your brother, right? Besides your brother, who were some role models that you would say that you looked up to in the game of football that really inspired you?
Like I said earlier, definitely like Jabril Peppers and Minka Fitzpatrick. Like seeing them play, especially playing safety, like the way them guys were, like those are some dogs. Like Jabril was a different breed. Like whoever's seen Jabril Peppers' high school highlight tape, is ridiculous.
Especially, I mean, even at Michigan.
Even Michigan highlight tape
crazy.
was ridiculous.
At that time, he should have went top 5 in the draft.
Definitely. And him being able to play linebacker and safety, like working out at both was insane.
Yeah.
But definitely them two. I'm trying to think of anybody else. It was this one dude, Josh McNeil. He played at West Orange High School. He was like a couple years older than my brother. He was pretty good. He used to wear 22. That's kind of where I kind of got my 22 from when I was playing Little League. But he definitely was pretty crazy. So I definitely was probably say him as well too.
So, big role models in your life. What made you decide to play defense, or did you feel like you were forced to defense?
I was forced.
Okay, because I was gonna say, because I was talking with Elijah and he played running. He wanted to play running back.
Yeah.
Like he was stubborn to play running back. Like, and he felt like he should have been the running back, but they switched him over to safety in high school, and he's like, "Well, I came here to play running back, not safety," and then he kind of just had to take it on the chin.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about like how hard was it to accept the role of playing defense and being a safety? Obviously, you have your mentors and stuff like that, the role models, but like, I don't think you really would enjoy it until you watch those guys doing the same thing that you'd be doing.
Yeah. I would say, like, growing up, I was crazy on offense. Like, I just wanted to play offense. I just played defense because that's just what you did. Like, you played both sides of the ball. Like, and, like, I was playing linebacker growing up. Like, I never played safety until I got to DePaul. And it was like, okay, like, I know I'm going to the high school level. Like, I'm kind of the same size I was in 8th grade. Like, let me just move on the back end. And I didn't like it. I'll be honest with you. I didn't like it. And then my sophomore year, I literally told my coach at DePaul, I was like, bro, I'm just trying to play straight offense. Like, they just try to get me to go over there, do DB drills and stuff. I'd be like, nah, I'm going over there with the receivers. Like, I'm sticking to receiver. Like, I wasn't liking it. And then me going back to West Orange, it was like kind of like I got to play both sides of the ball. At DePaul, I really didn't have to. Like, we had guys on both sides that could play. Like, so that was something I really wanted to focus on, was just straight offense. Like, I was going to camps for receiver. Like, I'm sitting here doing receiver training. Like, I never really did DB training until, like, probably junior year, maybe, of high school. And I really knew I had to start, like, kind of taking it serious. I remember JMU was one of the first schools that came to come talk to me my sophomore year. Coach Matt Sackers was cool, one of the coaches. He was like, yeah, I got this kid coming back here. You guys need to check him out. Because they were coming to talk to CJ on Yetchi.
Yeah.
So
you ended up going to Rutgers, right?
Yeah. So they were talking to me and stuff. They wanted to see me in camp. I went down there to play receiver. And Coach Matt Sackers was like, yeah, I'm telling you, you need to play defense in college. Like, defense is going to get you somewhere. Like, you're big enough, you're strong enough, fast enough. Like, and you're a good enough athlete that you can learn it and play it like and be good at it. So I really wasn't trying to hear that. I didn't really listen to them still. Like, I was still going to camps as playing receiver and stuff. Like, but I felt like once every school started to come talk to me my junior year, they were all saying safety, this, safety, that, safety, safety, safety. So it's like, all right, now, like, I guess this is what, like,
for college,
yeah, like, I guess this is what's about to lead me to. So,
Do you guys messing with the video? I mean, the podcast is great. Jordan White, of course, perfect guest for the podcast. But want to let you guys know, you guys better follow Hot Take Empire. You better subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. Leave a like. Leave a dislike. Give me some engagement. Tell me what guys, what you guys thinking about the podcast. Follow all the socials for sure. Instagram, TikTok. The link will be down below, of course. And, of course, on the YouTube, you can check out more of the videos. Podcast already with Ty is up there if you guys want to check that out. And then also check out our Twitter, too. New video about the Knicks. And why they're not going to win a championship anytime soon. Hear my opinion on that. I mean, you should know why if you're a Knicks fan. But if you don't, go ahead, check out the video right here. And, yeah, enjoy the video. All right, so you talk about a little bit about West Orange, switching to safety. Senior year, obviously, colleges are coming in.
mm-hmm.
You end up deciding to go to JMU. I don't know if you can talk about this, but can you tell me about like any other offers that you got?
Yeah.
And what was the decision to go to JMU? Why was it so compelling to you?
So my first offer was Buffalo, February like of my junior year, and then probably like 2 days after that I got Kentucky, and then
That's right.
yeah, and then probably like a couple weeks later I got Army, then right after that I got Cincinnati. So it was like all these big time schools were just like offering me, and I'm like feeling like on top of the world. Like I'm finally getting these offers. Like it was a really good feeling, like just knowing that I was finally able to like go to college for free and play football like how I've always wanted to as a kid. And I felt like nobody really from West Orange was really like doing that. You know, like I said, CJ he went to Rutgers, but like, you know, from before that, like it really wasn't, anybody that was coming out like, and that was these big time like players and stuff like that. So,
Not to toot your own horn, but I think you were the catalyst for all these other guys that are now.
oh, we definitely paved the way.
Yeah, I would
these
say
guys now, yeah.
for like Coach Grant to come in, and now
Mhm.
like Jason Raines is
Yeah.
going to Stanford. Like you
Shakai.
definitely paved the way for that. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
I didn't pave no way. I was not an athlete, bro. I was not an athlete.
Yeah. So I decided on JMU June maybe of my junior year. And I was committed there throughout the whole time my senior season. And then coaching change happened. The coaches from JMU left probably maybe like November-ish, and they ended up going to East Carolina. So they were trying to bring me and 2 other people along with them, I believe, or maybe 3 other people to East Carolina with them. And one of them ended up going, and the others we decided to stay. The one actually ended up being my roommate for like all my 4 years.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, so East Carolina was definitely trying to get me to go down there and flip, and then a whole bunch of other schools started coming out, like just trying to get me, knowing that the coaches left from JMU. So like I was under a lot of stress like before signing day, because it was like I don't really know what I'm gonna do. Like, am I gonna go and follow the coaches to East Carolina, or am I gonna sit here and stay at JMU? Because like I like JMU for the school, but like did I want to follow coaches, or did I want to go play for a school that I liked? You know, so I ended up the coach that came in there was Coach Signetti, and he came from Elon. He offered me while he was at Elon. So like I already knew him, so like it was like, okay, cool, like you're coming here, like I could play for you. So I decided to end up just staying at JMU and just getting my 4 years done there.
I gotta ask you. Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's a great school. They
Yeah.
went undefeated, I think, in a certain year.
Yeah, I can't remember what year it was.
They had a really good DB that's currently in the NFL.
Sauce.
Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
No disrespect to JMU. Is there any regret of not going to Cincinnati,
Man.
playing with Sauce? I don't know. That would have been like crazy.
It's no regret, man. Like I said, everything happens for a reason. But I do wish I can go to Cincinnati or Kentucky. Like that's definitely something I wish I could have done. You know, playing at that level. especially like at Kentucky. That's the SEC right there. That's you sitting there, you playing Bama, you playing Georgia, Auburn, like you playing all them big schools, man. So it's like there's definitely some like I wish I would have, but you know, like I said, everything happens for a reason. Everybody has their own path, so.
So James Madison, first year obviously you don't get a chance to really play much. The next few years, tell me about your time there football wise, and pretty much what JMU meant to you at that time.
Yeah, like you said, my freshman year I didn't really get to play like that for real. Sophomore year it was more like of a special teams role. Was on most of the special teams. That kind of really was my really kind of like whole time there. I would get thrown in on defense a little bit here and there, but nothing to really sit there and make impact plays and stuff like that. But like I said, JMU is a football school. Like that thing is dye and bleed purple. Like they love football in that town, that alumni base, like that fan base, everything. Like they love JMU football, and it's just like from the success of it. Like they won a national championship 2016, come back the next year go undefeated. They lose in the national championship. That 2018 year, they really didn't do that good. They went to like second round of the playoffs. But then that year I got there my freshman year, we go back to national championship and lose on the final play of the game to North Dakota State, Trey Lance. Yeah. So it's just like my time there, like it's just a winning culture. My sophomore year, same thing. We go undefeated, and that was the COVID year, and we lost probably like in a round before the playoffs to Sam Houston State off a fluke game. We sitting there up by like 24 at halftime. We end up losing. Junior year, comeback, same thing. We lost one regular season game, lost in the game right before the national championship in North Dakota State again. So it's like, you know, it's always winning. That's always what I was around. So that's what I love because, like, you know, at West Orange, we really weren't that great.
Right.
And that was, like, kind of like my first time being on, like, a losing team kind of thing. But, like, it was just good to be able to go to college and win. Like, I have a ring from every single year that I was there from winning the conference, yeah. And then even, like, my senior year, we moved up conferences. We went to the Sun Belt Conference, moved to FBS football. So it's like nobody thought we was going to do what we did.
Right.
Nobody thought. They thought we were going to win probably like 3-4 games, and we ended up winning 8. Like, so being ranked top 25, it's like just being able to have that feeling like, okay, like as a kid, you sitting there watching these ESPN rankings of these top schools and colleges and stuff like that. You watching the game on a Saturday, and you see like that ranking on the corner of the screen. Like to be able to actually be on a team that's actually on ESPN and have that, it was crazy. It was like, bro, I'm really living this right now.
That is a tougher question I'm going to ask you. Everywhere you've gone, and I asked Elijah this too, everywhere you've gone, you've climbed to the top, right? JMU, did it feel a little different in the aspect of maybe you weren't like the top guy, right? Like, not saying you weren't good, not saying that. I know you, but not being that top guy, was it hard?
It was hard. Cause like all my life, it was like every team I played on, if I wasn't the best guy, I was tied for best. Like, so it was like going there and that humbling experience. Cause if you would have asked me my junior year of high school, senior year of high school, I was going to college for 3 years and I was going to the NFL. I didn't care about the degree. I just wanted to go play football and get to the NFL. And the fact that I had to come to JMU and realize like everybody that's there was the best on their team, it was a humbling experience. So it was like seeing the guys that were in front of me. Like I had All-American. I played corner my freshman year at JMU. I had 2 All-Americans that were playing in front of me. So it was like I wasn't stepping on that field. Plus guys that had been there and been playing. Like there was 0 chance that I was going to play on that team my freshman year. Like it just wasn't going to happen. And I had to swallow that. So it was like, but like it was just a good thing to be able to learn from them, cause it's like those guys, the way they approach the game and everything like that, it was like way different than I ever had thought about football. Like they look at it from a whole different side of things, like the film that goes into it, the studying that goes into the knowing everything that you got to do. Cause in high school I was just going out there playing, like just off of raw talent. Like yeah, I watched film here and there, but like the way that the film preparation was and the practices was and how they took how serious they took things was crazy. So like I had to get with the program and like really understand like this is not high school no more. This is really college. This is a business. Like, this is professional. Really, it's really professional, honestly.
So, again, another tough question I'm going to ask you. You said in high school, junior year, you asked you what you'd be doing in the next 4 years. You said 3 years NFL. One, do you think the NFL is still a possibility?
Yeah, I'll say so. Especially based off the year that I had last year. If I come back this next year and do a little bit better than that, get some awards, some accolades, do good with my pro day and everything, like, there's definitely a good chance that I can get something. So that's always, like, I'm always gonna strive for that. Like, that goal's never ever going away.
I think you're good enough.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I think you're good enough. Now, automatically you thought you'd go to the NFL. Now realizing maybe it's a little more difficult than you think. Tell me how hard was that to kind of deal with? Because like, you probably thought in first round,
Yeah,
I'm there, right? Like,
I definitely did. It's just crazy, like, cause like growing up, you're just in this bubble, like, of New Jersey football. You're not really thinking outside, like, okay, there's a guy my size, my speed, somewhere in Texas right now, somewhere in Cali, somewhere in Alabama, like. So it's just the fact that all these guys, like, are striving for the same thing that I am. And me and my dad always talk about it right now, like, how many people are still playing football that I grew up with? It's not that many. Not that many. So it's like every year it's like gets thinner and thinner and thinner. And it's like, bro, I'm still going.
Yeah.
And I got 1 more year left. And I just got to keep building on that. So it's like, if I see that it's other people like thinning out, like, okay, like, I know I'm good enough to keep going, like, and just keep, like, working. So, like, it's definitely hard to get there. Like, no, yeah. And NFL, that thing stands for not for long. Like, so hopefully, like, I can get there and make the best of my time there and make sure that I can keep on going, you know, so.
So I'm going to take it back a little bit. Football. Always a big thing. But you can hoop, bro. You can hoop. Don't get it twisted. I'll beat you in a few one-on-ones, though. But that's besides the point. Listen, fuck, I could ball, man.
Got that strap on.
I got a strap on. Pause. But anyways, basketball.
Yeah.
Was there ever a doubt that maybe basketball was for you instead of football?
A little bit. It was a little point in time where I was like, I might want to take basketball serious. But, like, I can say I've never went to go train for basketball. Basketball was just something that I just did on my own. Like, it was just some fun thing to do outside. And then I started playing on teams, and it was like, okay, I'm just doing it because my friends are playing.
Right.
Because, like I said, with Stephon Kenyon, like, David, like.
That Liberty team. David.
Yeah.
Wow.
We used to be outside playing 2-on-2, like, me and David versus Stephon and Kenyon, or we just mix the teams up. Like, we used to be out there for hours, just hooping. And then, like, with you, like, we used to be outside just hooping, like. So that was just something I just did for fun, like, as kids. Like, you go ride your bike somewhere and you go play basketball. So, like, I realized I was good at it, but, like, I didn't think that I was going to be able to take it to the next level. But when I started playing AAU 7th, 8th grade year, it was like, okay, I might be able to do this in high school.
Right.
I never really thought about it, but, like, it was like, I don't know. Training for basketball was just not in my, like, it wasn't something I wanted to do. Training for football is something I wanted to do. I wanted to get better. I started training for football when I was 7th, 8th grade. But basketball, yeah, I could hoop. It was cool.
Good ball.
Yeah.
Always an athlete. You talk about 7th and 8th grade. You were training for football. What is training like for football? Like, how intense are these workouts that you're doing to I mean, again, you're a D1 player.
Yeah.
Like, there's not no D3. No offense to no D3, because I know D3.
Yeah.
Because they could do.
They got some ballers.
They got some ballers.
Yeah.
It's a little different for you. What is that work ethic like, and how are those workouts different from anything else?
But working out, it's like you gotta go. Like, you gotta push yourself. Like, even when you think you can't go no more, you gotta go. Like, so I started working out 7th, 8th grade year at ETS up in Teterboro. And that's where a lot of guys work out, like a lot of Division I guys work out. So like I said, 8th grade year, I'm in there with all the guys that's going into their senior years and stuff. Like, it was me and my boy Rocket. We the only youngest in there. We 8th graders, and we seeing these dudes, like, it's college scouts coming to watch them at this workout. Workouts used to be at like 8 o'clock at night on a week, like during the week. And we sitting in there and grinding, and like we're just seeing these guys and like being able to keep up with them. So it's like, okay, like we can do this. Like, we sitting here benching, doing all this stuff with them, working out, doing all these drills and stuff with them. Like, we could do this. So definitely that, like, and like the amount of work that I put in, like them years, like especially like early high school and high school, like I said, workouts is at 8 o'clock on school nights, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm going every day. Every day. Saturday morning sometimes too, 10 a.m. So it's like I'm doing that, and it's like, okay, I really am trying to take this to the next level. Like, we used to be in there. It's a whole wall in there. It's a puke wall. There's so many names on that wall. Like, you go in there, it's probably Mika's name probably on there. Like, somebody, it's a whole bunch of people's names on there. My name probably on there probably like 3 times. But it's like, all right, you throwing up, good, get it out, go back to doing what you was doing. Like, so there wasn't no tapping out, there wasn't no quitting. Like, that really showed me and pushed me like to what level I need to be on. So being able to work out with older guys that were going Division I, that's top ranked in the country, that really showed me like the work ethic that I needed to put in.
Sacrifice. What kind of sacrifices did you need to make to be able to get to the level you're at now?
Definitely missed out on a lot of fun stuff. I felt like my parents always kept me like grounded. Like, they didn't let me do everything because they knew that I had a brighter future with everything. They didn't let me go everywhere, anywhere and everywhere. Like, I used to always be like, yeah, my friends are going there. Oh yeah, they said it's gonna be lit, yada yada yada. Like, they're like, who is they? Like, you're not going. Like, no, like, just certain stuff. Well, a lot of sacrifices I made. Like, I had to miss a lot of events to go to sporting events, like family stuff. Like, and it kind of sucks, like, you know, cause I'd be away at college, like, so I'd be missing a lot of family events when I'm not home and stuff. Like, Thanksgiving, I'll probably come home for like a day or two.
I'm back. Yes, I'm back. The podcast is fantastic. We got some new TikToks rolling with Jordan. You guys better go ahead and check those out. We're looking to get him involved heavily so far. I'm looking for more interviews and more content for you guys and more stories that these guys can tell. So if you guys like the podcast, go ahead, leave a like on the video. Of course, I've said it already. I'll say it again. Leave a like, and make sure you guys go check out Jordan on all his social medias too.
Dang. I messed up. You can edit it though. But yeah, definitely a lot. It was definitely like a lot of like nights where like I had to miss a lot of things and like miss a lot of social events because I was doing stuff with sports. But it definitely all paid off in the end. But, you know, as a kid, do I wish that I could go back, you know, go out or like be able to go somewhere and do something? Like, yeah. But looking back at it, it's like, okay, I was doing something that was going to benefit my future for me. So definitely, it is what it is. And like I said, having to be away in college, like, I used to miss a lot of family events. And I still kind of do to this day. Like, I kind of just missed my little cousin's birthday party because I had to go back to school. But, you know, it just kind of sucks that I can't be there for it. But, like, you know, it's just a couple years that I'm looking at it right now. Like, I'm going to be there. I got the rest of my life. But, you know, it sucks not to be able to be around my family, especially when they're little, like, growing up, and they're, like, asking where I'm at and stuff. But, you know, I just got to make the time when I see them when I come home if I can. So, yeah.
That's dope. Now going to Hampton. HBCU.
Yeah.
One, I know you're excited. Do you think this is going to be a different year compared to anything else? Like, you know, when we talk about how you were at the top, right? Do you think that's going to be another situation here?
Yeah. So this past year at Hampton, like, I got there and, you know, I was just kind of like trying to be a guy where like I come in and I try to figure out like how everything's ran here at this program, because I already knew they had their leaders there. You know, so like I wasn't trying to come in and like step on nobody's toes. I was just trying to come in, do my job, keep my head low, and do what I got to do to get to the next level. But I felt like that leadership role was coming on to me probably around like that second, third game of the season. And that's when I kind of really started making some more plays and like starting and I started like the rest of the I appreciate it. I started like the rest of the games after that. But I definitely feel like how I left off this past season, like coming into my last season here at Hampton, like I feel like I'm already at the top and I just gotta take it to another level. Like yeah, that's definitely how I feel. So
mental health is a big part, I think, when it comes to football players, I think in sports, and that's one of the reasons why I built this platform for athletes to kind of speak about that. Stress factors, you discussed that. How does that play a part into the stuff that you do on the field?
It definitely affects you. Definitely, cause like just being a student athlete, like having that stress on you, like knowing what you got to do throughout the whole week and stuff, and practice and getting like a whole new game plan and everything, and then having schoolwork on top of that. Like I'm in grad school right now. Like I had a paper, like a 3-page paper due every week for the same class. We had to read like 10-page article, write a 3-page paper about it, and that was just one class. I had 3. So it's like the stuff that we used to do, like, you know, it was grad level work. So doing that and then having to like manage football at the same time, it's stressful. And then say you didn't have a good game the game before, now you're worried about that. Or say you didn't have a good practice that week, like you're worried about that. Like, okay, now I can't mess it when I'm in the game, like, you know. So that definitely plays a factor into it. But like mental health is like a real thing. Like while I was at JMU, I was kind of going through it. Like the fact of me not playing like how I really felt like I should have, or like how I wanted to, like I just, like, it was messing with me. Like, cause like, you know, like I've always played, like every single team I've been on, I'm playing, I'm producing, I'm making plays. So it's like for me to go there and like only be contributing on special teams and like get thrown in on defense here and there, it's like it was messing with my head. Like I used to call my mom like, yo, I don't want to be here anymore. Like I want to leave. Like she'd like just stick it out. Like you gonna get your degree, like all this yada yada, like, and then you could do whatever you want after. Her and my dad used to say that same thing. Like they were just so big on me getting my degree at JMU. But like it was just some nice, bro. I used to sit in my room like and just sit there like just mad, like not understanding what I could have done better. But you know, that's just where the whole factor of God comes in. Like just looking and turning to Him, praying and stuff. So, like I said, He definitely paved the way for me to come to Hampton and do the things I'm doing at Hampton now. So.
Now I'd like to give you an opportunity. I have a lot of respect for you. Every birthday I've ever had, you've always been one of the people to wish me a happy birthday. Anything that I've ever had, you always congratulate me. One of the guys, one of the day ones for sure.
For sure.
I'm going to give you an opportunity. Draft scouts, we're going to try to get your stock up. I want you to tell NFL scouts right now why they should draft you.
Why they should draft me? For one, you're going to get a dog. For two, you're going to get a guy that can really do a little bit of everything. I can tackle, open space, I'm physical, make plays on the ball. Like, I can play the ball like I'm a receiver. Like, I'm fast enough, I'm big enough, I'm strong enough to handle really whatever's thrown at me. Like, and like I said, you're going to get a dog. So,
Jordan, we appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Folks, if you don't follow Jordan on social media, do you want to just tell me your social media?
Yeah, it's Jordan White _ like I think the zero in my, the O in my name is a 0. So
I'll leave it down below right here. It's gonna be right here. Kahlil, make sure you put it right here. But appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
Of course, and hopefully, you know, maybe one day when you make it to the combine, we mic you up, get you ready, and get you back on here.
You can still be my agent too.
So hey, we get the money right.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, man. See you next time.
All right.